Now we start in the Middle East this hour, and Iranian authorities have said that 30 people have been arrested in Tehran over public order offences following days of protests over rising prices that have turned deadly in parts of the country. According to reports, security and intelligence forces carried out a coordinated operation in the Malad district of western Tehran, detaining suspects accused of disturbing public order. The arrests come as unrest continued everywhere. Clashes between demonstrators and security forces in western Iran killed 3 people and wounded 17 others. The violence broke out in the city of Law started. Protesters alleged. Joining us now is Dr. Wael Awad, a Middle East affairs expert. He joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. What more can you tell us about this situation?
Well, actually, the problem in Iran has not been started recently. It has been going on for the last 20 years after the Iranians have been subjected to all the UN sanctions and then the United States sanctions unilaterally after the 2015 signing of the nuclear deal. And then the American president, first Trump, pulled out of the deal and then put again Iran into unilateral sanctions. All these have had a great impact on the livelihood of the normal Iranian, and therefore the inflation has risen so high, almost now it is 40%, and now the currency has fallen down. So there is always discomfort inside Iran, and the poverty line have increased. However, Iranian also been resilient against the American and the Israelis attack and rallied behind the government, but they wanted the government to take more steps to deal with address the issues that affecting the livelihood of the people. And I think this demonstration is nothing but a legitimate resentment against the current situation. However, the government also saying that they wanted to come up with some kind of reforms to improve the livelihood of the people, because openly now the United States and Israel and the West are saying that they are supporting the demonstrators. That's not the end of the story, but I believe there are around 7 people have been killed and couples have been injured, and also there are some arrests, but these are still under control. And I think the government of Iran is addressing the demand of the people in the street.
And Dr. Awad, how is the region watching this ongoing situation? Tehran, of course, has a water problem as well, with possibilities of the city even being evacuated. Day to day, of course, there's sanctions put on it by, of course, the West as well. Day to day, how is it impacting the lives of Iranians on the ground?
Well, definitely it is affecting the livelihood, the life of the ordinary Iranian. In fact, just to add to what you said, there was a snow and there was lots of rain for the last 1 week in Iran. More than 10 people have been killed, and that's also a sign of a good omen for them, that they could be the water level this year will be better than the previous years, and the Tehrani people are facing the difficulty and harsh because of shortage of water. And these are being addressed now, but the situation remains grim because Iran, under the sanctions, are unable to get the technology to develop such kind of infrastructures to deal with the shortage of water, especially for the capital. And also, let's look at the complexity of the Iranian situation, not only from the eyes of the Western world, that they are only against Iran to topple the regime by supporting the previous king supporters, and people are calling in the demonstrators for a change and bringing back the king or changing back into a kingdom. All this show you that the Iranian sophisticated situation give you also another way of looking at Iran. While it is excelling in the satellite, in the technology, it is still unable to address the people issues, which is normal for any country to have such kind of resentment because of the harsh economy. And I think that is where the Iranians are showing their resilience and support to the government at one side, but at the other side also, they wanted the government to take steep measures to make sure that their suffering should be put to an end. Because if it comes out of control, nobody can predict anything before the future of Iran.
Do you think Iran could accuse foreign actors here of fueling unrest and use that as justification for these tougher crackdowns?
Well, the Iranians have always been saying that it is supported from outside, but that does not give you a clean sheet that you should not address the issues. The issues raised by the demonstrator, it is legitimate. It is inflation, it is unemployment, it is poverty, it is also the shortage of supplies. It's fine because of Iran still at the sanction. But if there is a discrepancy and there is also no accountability against the leaders, we need to see the structure of the government of Iran. You know, there are so much of conflict, internal conflict among the Iranian elites, especially in the ruling government, where the president has been subjected to all kind of, criticism and pressure from the hardliners. And he's warning the government that if we go into extreme measures, it will be creating a counter measure by the public and resentment among the public. So therefore, they're trying to have a balance between the current situation and balance of power among the hardliners and the reformers. So I think this gives you a clear picture that Iran not only been sanctions by the Western world, and definitely it has an impact on their life, whether we like it or no, and it has played a major role in the demonstration, especially with the support from outside, but also the war by the American and the Israelis have also left the Iranian injured and hurt, and this also brought more suffering for the Iranian people. I think the Iranian showed over the years that they will be able to come out of this pressure and come back into normalcy if the government seriously address it, because we were told that the government may have some kind of measures and preparing for some drastic measure to address the demand of the demonstrators.
Stay with us as we move on to another area of